going to be epic fireworks.
Wait in town and tell the people. Physical days coming your way.
You understand? Blessed sunrise, let me give thanks to life. Hey.
They don't know. I miss up watching the man that don't know stuff and hear the voice, and this is Gather King 9 representing for DJ Shaka Double. Don't know, so take it to the world, man. They don't know, so glory to words and glory to song and glory to power. Glory to the everlasting life of iration. I say, kick it. A God bless time, you know. In the morning. Na 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 na. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double. Enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. Remember to always pray and you wait. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, remember to always pray and you wait. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Shaka Double playing, and the children are going to school, and the parents are going to work. Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful morning. To feel the breeze is blowing, the blue saki and the kiskadi, the 6 o'clock bees, I heard they singing out, cause life is the greatest gift, Shaka Double bring to mankind. Some people say life hard, Shaka Double tell them say life higher. Yeah, give thanks and praise for the mighty rising. Don't give up my brother, don't give in my sisters. Give thanks and praise every day. Shaka Double, give thanks to life. Cause no people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray and you wait. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray and you wait. Oh, they don't know. I miss up watching the man that don't know stuff and hear the voice, and this is Gather King 9 representing for DJ Shaka Double. Don't know, so take it to the world, man. They don't know, so glory to words and glory to song and glory to power. Glory to the everlasting life of iration. I say, kick it. A God bless time, you know. In the morning. Na 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 na. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double. Enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. Remember to always pray and you wait. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, remember to always pray and you wait. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Shaka Double playing, and the children are going to school, and the parents are going to work. Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful morning. To feel the breeze is blowing, the blue saki and the kiskadi, the 6 o'clock bees, I heard they singing out, cause life is the greatest gift, Shaka Double bring to mankind. Some people say life hard, Shaka Double tell them say life higher. Yeah, give thanks and praise for the mighty rising. Don't give up my brother, don't give in my sisters. Give thanks and praise every day. Shaka Double, give thanks to life. Cause no people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray and you wait. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray and you wait. Oh, they don't know. I miss up watching the man that don't know stuff and hear the voice, and this is Gather King 9 representing for DJ Shaka Double. Don't know, so take it to the world, man. They don't know, so glory to words and glory to song and glory to power. Glory to the everlasting life of iration. I say, kick it. A God bless time, you know. In the morning. Na 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 na. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double. Enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. Remember to always pray and you wait. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, remember to always pray and you wait. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Shaka Double playing, and the the children are going to school and the parents are going to work, yeah. Oh, what a beautiful morning to feel the breeze is blowing. The blue saki and the kiskadi, the 6 o'clock bees, I heard her singing out. Cause life is the greatest gift Shaka Double bring to mankind. Some people still life hard. Shaka Double tell them so life hila. Yeah, give thanks and praise for the mighty rising. Don't give up, my brother. Don't give in, my sisters. Give thanks and praise every day. Shaka Double give thanks to life. Cause no people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray on your way. Give thanks to life. Shaka Double, enough people no live to see this day. Give thanks to life. DJ Shaka Double, remember to always pray on your way. Oh,
Blessed sunrise, family, blessed sunrise. I'm in here trying to situate certain things, not able to share so far this morning, but blessed sunrise, blessed love. I'm just going to continue to play my team music. You know, give people a little time for coming in. All right, don't know, blessed love.
This is the Ryder Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored. 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. All of them
is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. It's Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. I'm a baby in a stroller. In due time, I get to know ya. As we talking, the baby grow up, out the diaper, out the polo. I had the lasso, bring out wheelbarrow. Here today, don't know tomorrow. Subscribe, like and follow. We deep, we ain't shallow. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. One light up, one pour up, one reason, one sight up, one unite, no fight up, one round you shut, you skite up, E-lining, no time up, this morning, one night up, just replay and vibes up, start cheer like cake and slice up. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter. It's something you remember.
This is the Ryder Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored. 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. All of them. I don't know. Let me go. I miss you. Blessed love. Blessed sunrise. And even blessed moonlight too. Give thanks to life. This is the Ryder Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored. 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. All of them.
Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. I'm a baby in a stroller. In due time, I get to know ya. As we talking, the baby grow up, out the diaper, out the polo. I had the lasso, bring out wheelbarrow. Here today, don't know tomorrow. Subscribe, like and follow. We deep, we ain't shallow. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. light up, one pour up, one reason, one sight up, one unite, no fight up, one round you shot, you skite up, feel lining, no time up, this morning, one night up, just replay and vibes up, start cheer like cake with slice up, is reasoning and censor, no smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter, is something you remember, is reasoning and censor, no smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter, is something you remember.
This is the Ryler Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. I don't know. Let me go. I miss you. Blessed love, blessed sunrise, and even blessed moonlight too. Give thanks to life.
Blessed sunrise, give thanks to life. You know, this is the reason why exactly, I just take the stance that I have. And, some people might say, oh, every little thing y'all make an excuse about this and that, right? But let me tell you something. This man, Facebook ain't allowing me to share. You understand? Ain't allowing me to share. So what happening to my Instagram and my groups and all them kind of thing, right? So sometimes you see the algorithm based on your conversation and all these things. You know what I'm saying? Based on what you're saying. Let me straighten it up so it could go straight across the board so it don't go over nobody's head. You know what I mean? So right about now, I'm just going because I'm trying to figure out why they're not allowing me to share at this moment. And I'm not finna start doing what I'm doing in my preparation if it's not gonna allow me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's on the back screen, definitely nobody's on the front screen. That's what it is. A little patience, we see what's going on. All right. If they blocking me out, they blocking me out. I don't give a damn. I'll pause for today, figure it out, or come back at a later time today and see what's going on. I ain't even getting it twisted and confused. Let's go.
This is the Ryler Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms.
Is reasoning and censor, no smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter, is something you remember. Is reasoning and censor, no smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter, is something you remember. I'm a baby in a stroller, in due time I get to know ya. As we talking, the baby grow up, out a diaper, out the pull up. I had the last so don't not wheelbarrow. Here today, don't know tomorrow. Subscribe, like and follow. We deep, we ain't shallow. Is reasoning and censor, no smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter, is something you remember. Is reasoning and censor, no smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter, is something you remember. One light up, one pour up, one reason, one sight up, one unite, no fight up, one round you shot, you skite up, feel lining, no time up, this morning, one night up, just replay and vibes up, start cheer like cake with slice up. Is reasoning and censor, no smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter, is something you remember. Is reasoning and censor, no smoke screen, no filter, open mind, no enter, is something you remember.
This is the Ryler Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. I don't know. Let me go. I miss you. Blessed love, blessed sunrise, and even blessed moonlight too. Give thanks to life. This is the Royal Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. All of them.
Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. I'm a baby in a stroller. In due time, I get to know ya. As we talking, the baby grow up, out the diaper, out the pull up. I had the last so don't not real borrow. Here today, don't know tomorrow. Subscribe, like and follow. We deep, we ain't shallow. Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. One light up, one pour up, one reason, one sight up, one unite, no fight up. One round you shot, you skite up. Feel lining, no time up. This morning, one night up, just replay and vibes up. Start cheer like cake and slice up. Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember.
This is the Royal Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. All of them. I don't know. Let me go. I miss you. Blessed love, blessed sunrise, and even blessed moonlight too. Give thanks to life. This is the Royal Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncenored 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. All of them.
Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. I'm a baby in a stroller. In due time, I get to know ya. As we talking, the baby grow up, out the diaper, out the pull up. I had the last so don't not real borrow. Here today, don't know tomorrow. Subscribe, like and follow. We deep, we ain't shallow. Is reasoning uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is reasoning uncensored.
So watch this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Look at this nonsense. I might come off of the life because I can't see nothing. They're trying to tell me there's copyright infringement on that rhythm. Now, if Facebook is full of fucking skunk, yeah, straight up, early in the morning, it's like that. You understand what I'm talking about? I made that beat. All right, in Logix don't own no copyright of no you know what I'm saying? There's no sample in there. You know what I'm saying? Made the drum pattern and all that. So the inconvenience, that's what I'm talking about. Let me tell you something. This is going to take me straight off of my conversation this morning. I'm just going to have that talk and keep it brief. And then like later on, I might come back again later on and do something else. You understand what I'm talking about? But you see the control factor? The control factor. You know, sometimes, man, I get real fucking pissed off. Because of the lameness of fucking humanity, yo. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, y'all think right? And then you never escape it because the fucking the solution is, oh, get paid, go to your money, get to your money, get to your money. Y'all controlling every fucking thing, turned up everything, the banking, the credit system, the all kind, everything. Nobody ain't no, you know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, this is what I'm trying to listen, man. Wherever it gotta go is where it gotta go. This is why I don't be caring. You talk about, oh, leaving this. What? I don't care if I leave the biggest legacy or if I leave nothing. You understand me? Because a lot of what a lot of people holding on to and grabbing on to, I'm gonna show you these same people that gave you this value of what life is supposed to be and what it is the same people that's gonna show you in a heartbeat that really and truly they don't even treasure or value none of that. None of that. Just based on their own fucking ignorance, their own fucking, it gotta be fucking DNA implantation. Everything is fucking destructive. Everything is a controlling mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Driving in New York City now, 25 miles per hour speed limit. Let me tell you something. Them people be, yo, so y'all might as well just make cars that just go 50 miles per fucking hour in the places where it need to be. You understand what I'm saying? Because from the time you even start your car, new ass cars and shit, you touch the accelerator, the first press, it's already gone by 30. Already. So everybody's just there now, just like at this cruise temp. Oh, the cameras is right. Yo, you could be just going at a regular speed. Everybody like, oh, there's no cameras right in this spot. Oh, the camera. Let me slow down. The control mechanism. Know what I'm saying? Everything that you think you have, that we have going on for free. Took all the music. First you had your record player, your disc, you play your stuff when you want to. Your CD, all that, until it got digital. Record company complain, oh, we don't know how to make no money. Well, you don't know how to make no money. What? Y'all got everything locked down. All the social media platforms, all kinds of nonsense. Copyrights on everything. Copyrights on seed. They went legalized marijuana, went all over the world, collected billions, millions, whatever the damn nail count is of seeds. And then they patented it. So if you're in the third world country or something, you say you want to do a company later on to compete with a global market or something that they want to, oh no, that seed is patented. We own it. The control mechanism. You want to put a satellite. You say, oh man, listen, check this out. Africa for the Africans, you know what I'm saying? Even the African Americans in this country getting that shit together. We trying to do this and that. Let me tell you, it's just like the roads and the streets that you are, highways, boulevards, and avenues and streets. It's the same way there's lanes and avenues these fools have up in the sky. And guess what? They have bought it, purchased it, considered it owned. So if you come at a certain point in time and you think you have an invention, you want to do something, you accumulate a certain amount of funds. No, you just can't just build something and just go and be like, hey. You know what I'm saying? It's like when the natives came, when they came to the Americans, to the natives in the United States specifically, right, in the history books, and talk about, oh, you know, how much is this land? And the natives is like, what? That's just, yo, from this river to that river, when the wind blows this way to that way, they had to figure out when it east, west, north to south, you know what I mean, up to the forest and come back around that side on the hill and so forth. They couldn't comprehend this shit. Still can't. It's about ownership. Still can't. And then these are the same people you talking about, they got a God concept. A God concept. Listen to me, man. The fuck out of here. This is why I'm trying to tell you on certain levels, I don't play around. You know what I'm saying? I'm diplomatic with certain shit, but that's on certain levels. Don't even come to me with no white Jesus, no Islam, no Muhammad, no none of that. Straight up. Never knew none of it before. And when you trace the history of all that, it's been your worst oppression. If you know it, if you took the time to know it, if you want to know it, acting like something like it ain't true. Oh, what they saying? What people be saying and this and that? What's going on? Huh? I know what it is because I feel it too. And it is a real fucking truth. And I'm gonna come close to it. Maybe I'm gonna end the podcast in a little bit. But let me tell you what the goddamn truth is. Let me tell you what the truth is. Y'all are still in motherfucking slavery. You still tied up. And you can't do a goddamn thing about it. That's why I'm even venting right now too. Except I know that. If today, I'll be here talking a lot about we need to have our own government, our own this and that, and right? Okay. Let's say we're able to do that. Just like the Black Wall Street, the Central Park story, the Rosewood, the whatever else. What makes you think that if we got to the point that we're thriving, start to start our new and our own industrial revolution? Because the Africans haven't went through that yet within this AD time. You know what I'm saying? Their own industrial revolution. All right? We've been through a lot of entertainment revolutions and all that. Part of the table that they set up. Because we never considered those things entertainment. Almost all of, this is why when he, because of the copying, hold on a second, family. I got to put y'all, give me a second. Hold on a minute there, my brother. Hold on. I'm on the live. Let me play something. And then I can see what's going on. Actually, I'm gonna play a short little clip. Let me go show some Paul Robeson. This is Paul Robeson's trial. All right. If y'all don't know number Paul Robeson, let me see. There we go.
Are you now a member of the Communist Party?
Oh, please. Please
answer, will you, Mr. Robeson?
What is the Communist Party? What do you mean by that?
Are you now a member of the Communist Party?
Would you like to come to the ballot box when I vote and take off the ballot and see?
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully suggest the witness be directed to answer the question.
You are directed to answer the question.
I invoke the Fifth Amendment and forget it.
I respectfully suggest the witness be directed to answer the question whether, if he gave us a truthful answer, he would be supplying information which might be used against him in a criminal proceeding.
You are directed to answer, Mr. Robeson.
In the first place, wherever I have been in the world, the first to die in the struggle against fascism were the communists. I laid many wreaths upon the graves of communists. That is not criminal. Chief Justice Warren has been very clear that the Fifth Amendment does not have anything to do with the influence of criminality, and I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Have you ever been known under the name of John Thomas?
Oh, please, does somebody here want me to put up a perjury someplace? John Thomas, my name is Paul Robeson, and anything I have to say, I have said in public all over the world, and that is why I'm here today.
Mr. Chairman, I ask that you direct the witness to answer the question. He's making a speech.
I ask you to affirm or deny the fact that your Communist Party name was John Thomas.
I invoke the Fifth Amendment. This is really ridiculous.
The witness talks very loud when he makes a speech, but when he invokes the Fifth Amendment, I can't hear him.
I have medals for diction. I can talk plenty loud.
Will you talk a little louder?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment loudly.
Sir, who are Mr. and Mrs. Vladimir
I
Nakia?
invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Do you know a Manning Johnson?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Do you know Gregory Kifitz?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Do you know a Max Jurgen?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Max Jurgen.
Why don't you have these people here to be cross-examined? Could I ask whether this is legal?
This is not only legal, but usual. By unanimous vote, this committee has been instructed to perform this very distasteful task.
To whom am I talking?
You're speaking to the chairman of the committee.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
the Pennsylvania Walter?
That is right.
Representative of the steel workers?
That is right.
And the coal mining workers?
That is right.
Not United States Steel by any chance. A great patriot.
That is right.
You are the author of the bills that are going to keep all kinds of decent people out of the country.
No, only your kind.
Colored people like myself. And you would let in the Teutonic Anglo-Saxon stock.
We are trying to make it easier to get rid of your kind, too.
You don't want any colored people to come in. Could I be allowed to read from my statement?
Will you just tell this committee, please, while under oath, Mr. Robeson, the communists who participated in the preparation of that statement?
Oh, please. The reason I'm here today, from the mouth of the State Department itself, is I should not be allowed to travel because I have struggled for the independence of the colonial peoples of Africa. The other reason I'm here today, again, from the State Department and from the record of the Court of Appeals, is that when I am abroad, I speak out against injustices against the Negro people in this land. That is why I'm here. I'm not being tried for whether I'm a communist. I'm being tried for fighting for the rights of my people, who are still second-class citizens in this country, in this United States of America. My mother was born in your state, and my mother was a Quaker. My ancestors, in the time of Washington, baked bread for George Washington's troops when they crossed the Delaware. My father was a slave. I stand here struggling for the rights of my people to be full citizens in this country. And we are not. We are not in Mississippi. We are not in Montgomery, Alabama. We are not in Washington. We are nowhere. And that is why I'm here today. You want to shut up every Negro who has the courage to stand up and fight for the rights of his people, for the rights of workers. And I have been on many a picket line for the steel workers, too. And that is why I'm here today.
Would you tell us whether or not you know Thomas W. Young?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Thomas W. Young is a Negro president of the Guide Publishing Company. I'd like to read you his testimony, quote, Paul Robeson has no moral right to place in jeopardy the welfare of the American Negro to advance a foreign cause. In the eyes of the Negro people, this false prophet is unfaithful to their country, and they repudiate him, close quote. Do you know the man that said that?
I invoke the Fifth Amendment now. Can I read my statement? It is a sad and bitter comment.
While you were in Paris in 1949, Mr. Robeson, did you tell an audience the American Negro would never go to war against the Soviet government?
May I say that is slightly out of context? May I explain to you what I did say? I remember the speech very well. 2,000 students who came from populations that would range to 600 or 700 million people asked me to say in their name that they did not want war. No part of my speech in Paris says 15 million American Negroes would do anything. I said it was my feeling that the American people would struggle for peace, and that has been since underscored by the President of these United States. Now, in passing, I said...
Do you know any people who want war?
Listen to me. I said it was unthinkable to me that any people could take up arms in the name of a man like Senator Eastland of Mississippi against anybody. Gentlemen, I still say that. This United States government should go to Mississippi and protect my people. That is what it should do.
I lay before you, sir, an article, quote, I am looking for full freedom, unquote, by Paul Robeson in The Worker. July 3rd, 1949, quote, I said it was unthinkable that the Negro people of America or elsewhere could be drawn into war with the Soviet Union. I repeat it with 100-fold emphasis, they will not, close quote.
And, gentlemen, they have not. It is clear that no Americans are going to go to war with the Soviet Union.
While you were in Stockholm, did you make a little speech?
I made all kinds of speeches.
Let me read you a quotation.
Let me listen.
Do so, please.
I am a lawyer.
It would be a revelation if you would listen to counsel.
In good company, I usually listen. But you know, people wander around in such fancy places.
You said, Mr. Robeson, and I quote, I belong to the American resistance movement, which fights against American imperialism, just as the resistance movement fought against Hitler.
Just like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman were underground railroaders and fighting for our freedom, you bet your life.
I have to insist that you listen to these questions.
I am listening.
I quote further, why should the Negroes ever fight against the only nation in the world where racial discrimination is prohibited and where the people can live freely? Never. They will never fight against either the Soviet Union or the people's democracies, close quote. Did you make that statement?
I do not remember, but what is perfectly clear today is that 900 million people, other colored people, have told you they will not. 400 million in India and millions everywhere have told you
The witness
that.
has answered the question. He doesn't need to make a speech.
Did you write an article that was published in the USSR Information Bulletin?
Yes.
Quote, I want to emphasize that only here in the Soviet Union did I feel that I was a real man with a capital M, close quote.
I would say, what is your name?
Errant.
I am quite willing to answer the question. When I was a singer years ago, and this you will have to listen to.
I am listening.
I am a bass singer, so for me, it was Chelyabin, the great Russian bass, not Caruso the tenor. I learned the Russian language to sing their songs. I wish you would listen now.
Mr. Chairman, I ask you to direct the witness to answer the question.
Just be fair with me.
I ask for order.
The great poet of Russia is of African blood.
Well, let's not go
It
so
is
far
important to
afield.
explain this.
Did you make that statement?
When I first went to Russia in 1934...
Did you make that
When I
statement?
first went to Russia in
Did you
1934...
make that statement?
In Russia, I felt for the first time like a full human being. No color prejudice like in Mississippi. No color prejudice like in Washington. It was the first time I felt like a human being, where I did not feel the pressure of color as I feel it in this committee today.
Why do you not stay in Russia?
Because my father was a slave, and my people died to build this country. And I'm going to stay here and have a part of it just like you, and no fascist-minded people will drive me from it. Is that clear?
You are here because you are promoting the communist cause.
I am here because I'm opposing the neo-fascist cause, which I see arising in these committees. Jefferson could be sitting here, and Frederick Douglass could be sitting here. Eugene Debs could be sitting here.
Now, what prejudice are you talking about? You were graduated from Rutgers. You were graduated from the University of Pennsylvania. I remember seeing you play football at Lehigh. There was no prejudice against you.
Just a moment. This is something I challenge very deeply, that the success of a few Negroes can make up for $700 a year for thousands of Negro families in the South. My father...
Greetings, good morning and blessed sunrise family. Today we are going to continue reasoning about the projected narrative of Africans and African descendants from the lens of our story. The phrase for this reasoning is, shut your mouth and stay in your place, or else. In the European study known as psychology, operant conditioning or instrumental conditioning is known to be a learning or teaching strategy aimed at correcting behavior. One quick and brief example would be giving a child or animal a treat when they follow a precise command or commands. Nevertheless, if that individual or animal fails to complete their assignment precisely, then a punishment is warranted. In moments of failure, the commander must be prepared to give the follower a punishment that's worthy of ensuring such failure will not happen again. Sometimes even death is a punishment suited for the ultimate lesson of learning, making corrective behavior unattainable and a questionable, irrational concept. Now it's time to reason with Shaka Double and elaborate some more on this subject on Reasoning Uncensored. Greetings! Good morning and blessed sunrise family. Today we are going to continue reasoning about the projected narrative of Africans and African...
All right. That's Future Dread. Give thanks to Nancy. You know what I'm saying? Brother Nancy for hooking that up. So listen, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing because I'm still live on Facebook. On YouTube. All right? And so I'm just going to repost it from YouTube. But here what? I ain't wasting no more time on that. Like Future Dread said, watch your mouth and stay in your place. The control factor. You saw that clip just now, Paul Robeson. The history of Paul Robeson. Because remember, the inspiration that came to me this week, which is my first week of doing Reasoning Uncensored, came from the Sean Combs P. Diddy situation. And not the aspect of the legalities in his actions, but what really is the smokescreen and what is leading and what's behind all that. Besides, justice. Ain't never been no goddamn justice nowhere since these AD times. Okay? And my reason for engaging is the narrative. The narrative. I don't, like I said, actions are the actions. But if y'all going after the brother because he made a comment in a statement and said, because that's what I'm feeling. Y'all racist. Defamation of character. That's what happens when you do that. You know what I'm saying? Especially from a company perspective and coming from his mogul perspective. Oh, you want to defame character? Oh, got you. We'll show you. We'll show you what defamation of character is. You understand what I'm talking about? And that's what's been going on. If you observe, especially within this coming era or this era we're in, whatever you want to call it, right? We're, and this is the era of the outspoken. This is the times where, these so-called Negroes, you know what I'm saying? These niggas, these black men, these Africans, these African Americans, these Africans in America, they got this money. But this is a time where we're seeing billionaires. What? These guys are billionaires and they're inspiring thousands of others. There's things called the Billionaire Boys Club, whatever. I don't know how effective that is. I'm just saying, in the concept of marketing, in the ideology, in the mind of someone that never wants to see you get a up. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't be billionaires. So I don't care what the circumstances, like I said, about people's actions. I'm talking about the smoke screen. I'm talking about the projection. And if you do not have the analytics, this is why we remain trapped in this box. Nobody has no critical thinking. They just gossiping. Ain't nobody want to, there's no constructive thinking. Even the people that know shit ain't got no constructive nothing to say. Hey, Miss Sophia, you can let them know on Facebook, if you can, that they can find me on YouTube. For those who want to, on Reasoning Uncensored. I'm still live on there. All right? You know what I'm saying? Got me cracking my knuckles and all that up in here. Right? But this is reasoning. For now. Oh my goodness. I saw my order. He said, boy, that line right there, they're gonna come back and ask you, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like when Paul Robeson is trying to explain himself about why is the reason he felt like a man for the first time in Russia. And all this dude is doing is answer the question. Answer the question. You know what I'm saying? Like you some child, like, so how, and you're in court. And that's still kind of like some of the same way some of this nonsense is be going on, especially when it's not televised and depending on what's the economical situation. How could you not? So what's the purpose in having a court thing Because the way they set it up, that's what I'm saying. Yo, their system, I have no tolerance for it. For real. I exist in it, and I'm clearly letting you know I'm a prisoner in a bunch, and so I'm always continuously going to be rebellious in it. Straight up. To the end. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, because how do you come to conclusions when these people just have, like, I could throw this question and then such and such, and if this doesn't, you know, and just by you giving this answer, but so now the other lawyer has to come and cross-examine that question to prove that. Let me tell you something, man. We could keep on playing games with ourselves if we want to, but I'm damn sure not. Paul Robeson at that time, I can't remember quite clearly how many languages he spoke. Now, like I told y'all, I'm not into details. I'm into painting the picture. But I knew he spoke at least like 4 and up, maybe even up to 6 or 7 different languages. And I believe that part of that inspiration came from the opera. And thank you, Miss Sophia. Came from the opera and oh, I could sign into my chat. Let me see something. You know, I'm new to this here. Okay, I got to figure out how I'm going to sign into my chat because they're trying to get me to sign in doing something else. You see this? Let me tell you something. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm not the most computer savvy, but at the same time, the restrictions, the coding, the this, the that, they take all your information, getting paid off of trading your information, studying your all kind of, but then they just gonna restrict you from doing whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. I don't even know. Let me see something. Look like they might even. Oh, okay. I thought they'd knock me off of the I think they did. Hold on. Oh, okay. I'm still here. So I know I'm going back and forth, but that's just what it is. In these times, Paul Robeson, very wealthy at that time. There was one point in that speech, I don't know if you heard, he said, you know, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. Paul Robeson used to be invited to go to Russia because he can sing that opera, had that tone. And he was able to sing it in multiple languages, including Russian. And he was very popular over there. Made most of his money in Europe. Same way a lot of the big artists is today. Europe or anywhere outside of the United States. Let's get that clear. Because if you trace part of his career, I might play that clip. That's one of the reasons he went outside of the United States. Couldn't expand. Right? So one of the tactics that they did, and I'm going to play a little short clip in a little bit, was they took away his citizenship, basically, and restricted his ability to travel, knowing that this is how you make most of your money. Knowing we got you wrapped up in this court system spending money and etc. Right? Today, This is what I'm talking about. Now, even though Paul Robeson, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about their actions, because people say, well, oh, you can't compare Paul Robeson to P. Diddy and Sean Combs and some of the other people I'm gonna mention. You know what I'm saying? Right? But it's the smoke screen that I'm talking about. I'm speaking about the projection, the narrative. Who's controlling the narrative? Because I'm sure if there were Black-owned satellites and Black-owned network and African-minded thinking thoughts where we can go and get our information presented, have our own economical infrastructure and everything in place, you would not get that narrative. At least you will have a different sense of where to combat that knowledge. You know, it's like back in the days when they were obviously on a lot of separatist things blatantly. You couldn't what you call it? You couldn't you know, we knew like the real radio stations and stuff. Like we knew the same, it was the same way, like even when I came to America. You know what I'm saying? And I guess now they just call it the urban radio. But there was a time like hip hop, reggae music, and certain stuff you couldn't hear. And you were not hearing those things on what you call the mainstream radio at that time. We had our own radio stations. This is why the pirate radio stations and all this stuff came around for the Caribbean culture, and even some of the earliest stages in the hip hop culture, right? Because we're boxed out. So you know, we know that. So that's what I'm saying. When you have the power, when you put yourself in the position of power, and you're able to execute and determine your own thoughts and your own outlook of life and how it relates to you, you'll operate a little differently. So here what? I'm gonna go ahead and play a little short clip about Paul Robeson. This one is not Paul Robeson talking, but somebody speaking about him. And then I'm gonna just come back and kind of wrap this up for this morning. Like I said, at least it'll be on an hour to live, even though they blocked me on Facebook and all that for playing my own song. Anyway.
When you think of the first black superstar, you might think maybe of Denzel Washington or Will Smith, or going back a bit further, maybe Sidney Poitier. But one name kind of reigns above all of those, and that is Paul Robeson, an actor, singer, activist, trained lawyer and athlete, a guy who had it all, and about whom we know too little. I think Paul Robeson is a fascinating figure about whom people know very little. He's born in 1898 in Princeton, New Jersey, and he is the son of a freed slave. So he's kind of got that rebellious political spirit from a very early age, and it doesn't take him long to excel in a number of fields. He discovers that he's got this talent for singing and for projecting on stage, so he makes a big hit on stage at college.
First, I would say that here is a part which has dignity for the Negro actor. Often we don't get those opportunities. And I would say that my people will be very proud of my or any other Negro actor appearing in such a part.
He actually stars in 1925 in his first major feature film, which is a silent film called Body and Soul. In this, he plays this extraordinary double role, playing a corrupt, crooked, firebrand Pentecostal preacher and his mild-mannered twin brother. It might sound like a slightly ironic choice to talk about Body and Soul, because this silent era movie robs Robeson of his rich voice, but the expressiveness with which he performs and inhabits these two very different characters, and his power just careens through the screen, even though it was a silent movie. When you look at something like The Emperor Jones, the adaptation of Eugene O'Neill's play, which is, I believe, the first time that a black actor in a major American studio picture is billed above white actors, he's taking a risk on playing an ambiguous and complicated character who does, in some ways, revert to those anti-black stereotypes that we talk about, the idea of this savage brute. But he's brave enough to take that role on and bring layers to it.
Takes a silver bullet to kill Brutus Jones.
It didn't save him from being criticized in the black community and the black press for in some ways perpetuating these negative stereotypes. These are happening in segregated theaters, so this is a Jim Crow era America. So you have these independent black filmmakers like Michaud and Spencer Williams who are operating entirely independently of the Hollywood system, and they're making films about black subjects for black audiences. I mean, these films were quite widely seen, so his talent was recognized and he wasn't afraid to put himself forward. Arguably, Robeson's most famous role in Hollywood is in Showboat, where he sings the standard Old Man River, which has become immortalized since. And his version of that is the most famous version of it, I think.
Old Man River, that old man River, he must know something, but don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling, he keeps on rolling.
In films like Body and Soul and The Emperor Jones, you do see Robeson taking on these more complex and complicated roles before settling into perhaps some more slightly kind of sanctified, saintly roles. But as James Baldwin wrote, a lot of these black actors have had scripts where the complexity is not in the script. So they've had to smuggle complexity into the scripts that simply aren't there. And we have to look into the actors' eyes and study their performances to see what they're bringing to us and their lived experiences as black people. Well, as a scholar and an intellect at college, he's always interested in political issues and social justice. He effectively exiles himself because he's smart enough to realize that the roles are simply not there for him. The early stereotypes that have been calcified in American cinema, from D.W. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation onwards, this kind of hugely influential and technically incredible but extremely racist film which seems to have informed all of black representation in American cinema since. Paul Robeson sees that and he realizes that the roles that he wants to play, dignified, complicated, multifaceted characters, those roles are not going to be available to him. So he takes a chance and he goes to Europe. And when he comes to Britain and he stars in films like Song of Freedom and The Proud Valley in Wales, where he strikes up a communion with Welsh coal miners, and he becomes increasingly involved and interested in labour struggles. And that kind of never left him. And when he went back to America, he saw what was happening again in Jim Crow America. This is before the civil rights movement really kicked into gear in the 50s and 60s, and he's seeing injustice all around him.
Here's a question of whether one who wants to sing and act can have, as a citizen, political opinion. And in attacking me, they suggested that when I was abroad, I spoke out against injustices to the Negro people in the United States. I certainly did.
Because of his deep-seated commitment to his ideals throughout his career, Paul Robeson found himself a hotly disputed figure and also ostracized. And that places him in a line of many high-profile black athletes and public figures, actors, performers who have spoken out and have found themselves being frozen out. We look at Tommy Smith and John Carlos at the '68 Olympics with their famous Black Power salute, and even up to today with somebody like Colin Kaepernick, who's made a very bold statement and for doing so has found himself frozen out, very much like Robeson was as well. So perhaps when we look at Robeson, we're not looking at someone from the past, but a central figure on a continuum of American race relations. As with so many politically outspoken and controversial figures, there is a note of tragedy to Robeson's final years. His passport had been revoked. By the time it was given back to him and he was allowed to travel again, his health was on the wane. So he did go back to Europe, but his career was never able to reach the heights that it should have done. And he died in the late 70s, almost in obscurity, which is a real tragedy for a figure with such colossal talent.
But old man River, he just keeps rolling on.
Yep, and that's that. But, you know, Paul Robeson. It still doesn't matter, like I say, like I said. I'm not talking about the action, who's more heroic, who's standing for the people. It's about opening your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Watch your mouth and stay in your place or else. Right? Malcolm, watch your mouth. Martin, watch your mouth. A whole lot. Paul Robeson. And you know, the thing about even like Paul Robeson is that they drugged him. You know what I'm saying? And so he you know, that affected his mind because he was very intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Affected his mind and his ability to communicate effectively. Right? Kanye West. Watch your mouth. Nick Cannon. Watch your mouth. Sean Combs. You can't tell them people, y'all racist. That's the mob. Man, you know what I'm saying? We talking what it is and what it is. I ain't got to be connected to nothing. Truth is what it is. Right? Watch your mouth. And what's the strategy all the time? Defamation of your character. And definitely gonna hurt your pockets. Kanye came up and said, look, listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you. We know the situation. I know why y'all can't take certain conversations and certain reasonings. And this is why I'm like, you know what? I can't even go on doing the DJ Shaka double part, playing music and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been dancing and moving around for a long time. And when they say, all right, you finish dancing now, have a seat and let's get to work and get to action. I don't know about, you know what I mean? Just want to keep partying, keep going. Right? But when you look at a situation like that in these modern times, and to see, that's what I'm saying, no critical, analytical, like there's nothing to add to the smoke screen. Yeah, homeboy say this, he say, man, it's your brother. You ain't got a brother or sister in your family to talk crazy, do this and that, but they still, matter of fact, in my family, I'm known like the, you know what I'm saying, the mod nine, the crazy one. One of them. But oh, he's still very intelligent and all this other stuff. Right? So don't let's get away from this. Kanye, for y'all, some of y'all older, that's your kid. I'm your child. For the older ones and our peers who just because they just happy, this toy, this camera. This is why I didn't even, you know what I'm saying, for years, people tell me, hey man, start your own podcast, do your own this and that, talking and whatever. I'm like, I'm not doing it because I'm not seeking attention. I'm not just going to turn on the camera just to be talking like that. So, you know, your destiny, how it goes, brought me into, never saw myself on a radio station, ended up going on Talk of the Town, the radio station, and being on there, you know what I'm saying, grew into something. It evolved. And so I started to incorporate music with conversation and called it musical reasoning. But yes, after a while, I can now say that, you know, just playing music, for me, it's kind of like a distraction on certain levels. It's cool to have fun and certain stuff, but then there's a time to sit down and be serious. And I'm kind of interested in the people who are serious about information, knowledge, and just living their life and engaging with their children, their closest ones, and so forth, because that's where it starts at. All right. And then if you have conversations with people in your community and so forth, then that's even better. Right. But that's the reason. So because of starting on that radio station, wanting to expand the platform because it was only limited to Facebook, like what you just saw just happen. Imagine the countless times, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's nothing, you already know, Talk of the Town, Big It Up. Yo, listen, y'all ain't go check out Talk. I'm about to run one of their commercials just now. I actually did a little beat yesterday for the Shindig that's coming up on July 6th, in which I'll be there, you know what I'm saying? But you know, there's a cutting off the censorship of certain platforms. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube is still a censorship platform too. Because if I get, listen, nobody just saying push that button like Farrakhan did, but it's not really nobody and push the button. You know, once again, it comes back to the same thing. It's the masses that Farrakhan reaches. Is his influence. Oh, Kyrie Irving, watch your mouth, watch your fingers. Now your fingers is your mouth too, and all that, right? So, you know, Kyrie made his little statement about go purchase such and such. Shut that down. Right? Because you got to know how to shut your mouth and stay in place. And the conversation and talking, like I'm saying, Farrakhan has a audience. And I remember when I heard the rabbi speaking about Kyrie Irving, and he was adamant, but one particular thing that was, he's like, you know, he has an audience. He has an audience. He's not just talking to, you know, like right now I'm on my live, it says, listen, the number is not even up to 10, right? So what they're saying is like when Kyrie speaks, the number could be at 100,000. Or matter of fact, even 10,000. That's scary enough for him. You understand what I'm saying? His ability to reach and influence has been their problem. Right? Kyrie Irving. Right? The ability to reach out. Paul Robeson. Since back then, before the civil rights movement, you got to understand the man was around since silent movies. As an African descendant, as a star and a rising dominant person in his position. But when you now go and take this art form and you say you want to be vocal, watch your mouth, stay in your place, or else Kaepernick, watch your mouth. Matter of fact, watch your knees, watch your body parts, watch your whole, you know what I'm saying? That man, listen, if you don't think you're a slave yet, if you don't think that you are, right? So when you talk out, Kanye, like I said, listen, they stripped that man, they stripped my brother of so much, like so rapidly. The only thing that African descendants could do is sit on the sides and talk about it and say, oh, yo, look at that, yo, and blame it on yo, you know, because that's how, you know what I'm saying, he be. You helpless. You ain't got no power. And we can't do shit. Understand. If America says right now, let's get this, let me give a scenario. Gaddafi, Muammar Gaddafi, holding Libya down. Actually, the only person who was able to pull off putting a satellite up in space for Africa. Got his country sold up, development, this and that. He says, hey, we want to do a United States of Africa, which is the original blueprint of the elders, the Kwame Nkrumahs, the Haile Selassie, and so forth. Right? That really knew at those times what the opposition was and what the game was. So he said, man, it's still on the table. Because like the elders said, until this is done, until we're able to achieve this, then it's a backward step. all along the path. So Gaddafi said, "All right, boom, because it's a mandate that has to be fulfilled. Seriously, right?" Bob Marley sing about it. Africa unite. Africa unite, cause we're going back to our homeland, and we're moving, right? All right. He didn't get to that point. And maybe that was a good thing in the destiny of the timing, because this is the scenario I wanted to paint right now. So let's say he got what they called the sub-Saharan of Africa, the sub-African, because the Arabs got the top of Africa. They're Africa now. You know what I'm saying? Arabs are Africans. You understand me? Right? So let's say that sub-African part of the continent was united under the Gaddafi efforts and so forth, and everybody else that played their role. And we now had this collective piece of land, and we started to, control our economics, start our real industrial revolution, eradicating our economic system, political systems, reconstructing our social family systems. And you think if them dudes say, oh, they think they this and that, war against this United States of Africa, they're a threat to this and that, what you got? Who's going to defend that? Because as much as Gaddafi was on the level he was at, it was clear to see. They showed that they were more conniving and had the more military strategy and power to a certain level. And that's what they would have done on a larger scale. Like I said, if a large group of African descendants in the United States of America was to occupy, let's say, a piece of land as big as Texas, and started to get themselves together, organized, and started their own industrial revolution and all those other things that I just spoke about in pertainance to the vision of Africa. But we had our own fraction of that in America. What you think will happen? You don't think that they would try to eventually get to some kind of conflict where they got to come and bomb the hell out of you and kill all your family, your offsprings, and put y'all back into chains and all that again? So you see, that's the conversation. You see, that's the conversation that they be running from. Yeah, like do that. Because if just the talking alone gets you spanked, right? And you know what? I'm gonna play. Let me see. Matter of fact, it don't even matter. I'm gonna play my my AI stuff tomorrow too. First, I'm gonna see if they're gonna say that the creative AI is also censored. But let's go, because I want to touch on this.
Greetings, good morning, and blessed sunrise family. Today we are going to continue reasoning about the projected narrative of Africans and African descendants from the lens of our story. The phrase for this reasoning is, shut your mouth and stay in your place, or else. In the European study known as psychology, operant conditioning, or instrumental conditioning, is known to be a learning or teaching strategy aimed at correcting behavior. One quick and brief example would be giving a child or animal a treat when they follow a precise command or commands. Nevertheless, if that individual or animal fails to complete their assignment precisely, then a punishment is warranted. In moments of failure, the commander must be prepared to give the follower a punishment that's worthy of ensuring such failure will not happen again. Sometimes even death is a punishment suited for the ultimate lesson of learning, making corrective behavior unattainable and a questionable, irrational concept. Now it's time to reason with Shaka Double and elaborate some more on this subject on Reasoning Uncensored.
All right. So let me get into that. I don't even care about going through the name again. Y'all can go through the repeat to figure out what the name is of the psychological behavioral study or practice. Actually, what it is what they did. It's what you do when it's what happened with us in enslaved, imprisoned moments, specifically on a physical level. And also thank you, Miss Sophia. I'm just reading my comments. And also, it comes back down to really how you mold someone or something, right? The animal, and then some people do it even harsher. There are different levels of training, like the zoo and certain stuff. When you see these animals walking on ropes and doing certain the strikes and the treats, is a thing, right? And so that's how it's done. So we were taught that way, especially with our children coming from that same instrumental disorder study. Okay? Because we excessively are the ones that correct our kids with, right? Hey, didn't I tell you? And that's what they're talking about. But specifically now, it's also like in things like if something is hot and you don't want the child to touch it and you hit the hand and create a pain. You want the child to cry. You want them to know, don't touch this. So it's projected as it, in certain instances, it could be love. But the projection in protection. But on the other hand, on the flip side of that is some serious, that's a control mechanism. And that's what's been happening with us in terms of watch your mouth, stay in your place or else. Because if you don't, then you get that. What? You get that spanking. What'd you say, Kanye? Huh? D, what you said to Ciroc? Huh? Nick Cannon, what you said to them folk? Huh? Kyrie Irving, what did you type? Kaepernick, you went on your knees? Because body language is also a language. So every time they do that, it's not just for them. You know who's really for? Smile. Yeah. It's for us. It's for you. Because imagine you're not even, it's like, P. Diddy, billionaire, just that, and then they come down, do what they do, show you the power and the might, and show you like, man, if they could do that to Puff, man, what they gonna do to me? I ain't even got bail money. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to give that. Once again, stay in line. This is why when you watch like Jay-Z, he don't do a lot of talking. What he would do, go negotiate, do some business. You know what I mean? They're gonna go do some business and let the business talk on behind of whatever the affirmative action or the civil action might be. You know what I'm saying? Right? Let me run into this little commercial that I made last night. The Talk of the Town. Let's go. So here's what I'm going to play. Listen, so let me know if y'all like that beat. You know what I'm saying? I made it yesterday for promotion. Let me see if Facebook gonna cut it off too and say that they own that. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, the imprisonmentation is bananas. All right. So this is the longer version that pays respects to the promoters and so forth. All right, family. One more time. Talkity Tongue Radio, July 6th. You know what I'm saying? New York City. Make sure if you in New York City, man, you make sure you find a way to come through. All right. I'm going to be up in the building along with all the rest of the Talk of the Town Radio family. And it's like that. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all let me know what you think about that beat, man. I made that beat last night, you know what I'm saying, for the commercial, spoke to Mr. Ludus, you know? So, and the same conversation, because it was about having music on your stuff that when you're putting it on Facebook and so forth, that it's, you know, censoring it and muting it and so forth. So I'm like, you know what? I could make, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can make some disco funky kind of beat that goes in that time and era. And that was one of them that I did. I did 3 actually, you know what I'm saying, yesterday. And so, you know, I hope y'all like that vibe, you know what I'm saying? So look at that. The other beat that's part of my commercial, they muted everything on Facebook for, also made that one. But that's what I'm saying. You got to go through their channel and censoring them. Of them censoring you, who's censoring them? And who these people, like, you know what I'm saying, that really, they got their whole AI technology, they got to do nothing no more. In New York City now, they have gonna have drones flying around. You know what I'm saying? Technology, right? Yeah. Right? Drones flying around, so they don't have to necessarily, they're gonna know what's going on in the situation, the place before they get there and all this. And let me tell you something. A lot of us left our nice Caribbean places and so forth. Even our native motherland. And other places, those of you know, what they call Spanish speaking descent of today. A lot of us are in these places, and remember where you from is gonna have some value and importance. Y'all try to protect that as much as possible. Right? And that's not you know, I'm not into scary and you're not gonna fight, stand up and fight. And I'm with it, but there's certain things that you do have to understand spiritually. Seriously. When the Europeans came here, same way when they came to Africa, it was conflict, it was physical, and it was bloody, and it was tragic. The difference was they visited in Africa, they left. They visited in the Caribbean, temporarily settled. Some might have remained. Their government system and other things, political systems all around the world, even the major countries have to adhere to that. Right? You've got all these different African nations struggling along with their people to find a voice. Let me play something. Then I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't think I want to go past an hour and a half because I don't like when I see those long stuff.
That up on site, the African invited the European for dinner. That's the first thing he did. The Indian invited the European for dinner. The Polynesians invited the European for dinner. Now, if you invite people for dinner, first place, you've got plenty dinner, and you have a society that is traditionally hospitable to strangers. The Indians invited Christopher Columbus for dinner, the first thing they did. All right, now let's look at what was happening inside of Christopher Columbus's mind, and we can go to his own diary for this. He said, I wonder why they're so friendly. They'll be easier to conquer than I thought they would be. I wonder why they're bringing such small amounts of gold. I wonder where the mines are. His intentions were not good. It wasn't good then. The intentions are not good now. And the black man is still hung up with this dinner invitation, this kindness, with the thought that if you treat a person humanely, that he will act humanely toward you. Black people have not seen white people at all. That is why they can't deal with them.
So like I was about to say in closing, the reality, especially in this land, like I said, the Caribbean, Africa, those places, temporary, even though there are still strings connected to it, as much as they talk about independence and all that. But in this United States of America, they settled here, made this home. The blood that was shed here, the folks that was here, even in the Caribbean, on another serious level. Why you wondering if certain things can't be settled yet and so forth? That's the reason why it's called the Caribbean, because of the native tribe, the Caribs. Right? They used to be in all those islands. Where are they? Huh? This is what I'm saying. When they teach you the concept of spirituality and come and telling you about who saves this and the blood of what kind of blood, how we get into it. Because if you really, really and truly, without any book or anything, just coming from the heart, you know that ain't right. And even though we have settled on a lot of these places, call it home and certain stuff, we got to be careful. There might be a period of restoration because there's still quite a few number of the natives, and yet still who we call the Spanish today, majority in the South America, Central America, and so forth, are actually the descendants of those natives that were pushed back into and converted because of the colonial situation. Right? So it's 1:29. I guess I'm pushing it a little bit over. I don't know. Let me do this last clip here. Paul Robeson. This was finishing the ending of that court speech that he made. That interrogation in which his citizenship and his passport and all that was. This is why I was like, what's the purpose of even becoming a citizen as an immigrant? Especially like, let's say for a person like myself who, like, you know what I'm saying, you're designed on a rebel level. So what if my platform is magnified and so forth? So what y'all gonna say is prophecy? Because this is what they did to Marcus Garvey. You become so magnified. Let's study the angle. Oh, he's not a citizen or something or whatever. something that could infringe. And even if he was, they're going to still find a way to infringe something that infringes on that citizenship in that deal, in that contract, and say that it's not valid no more to execute what they want to do. Whether it's something that's going to be getting you locked up in jail past a certain amount of time that's going to validate such a thing to be possible, and et cetera, et cetera. Right? That's what I'm saying. It's their system, man. I'm saying it's what they set up, right? For lawyers for you to get in trouble. Like, what are you talking about? It should be like your mother and your father. Going to court should be like getting in trouble with your mother and your father. Maybe you alone, and it's you or your brothers, your sisters, your siblings, your cousins, whoever, your relative, your friend, whatever, and they're there, and the two adults, and y'all talking y'all story, and it's simple. And then if there's some more other adults there, and then they listen and they da-da-da-da-da. But to the point that there are encyclopedias of books to study law, the different laws, because you have gotten so complex and complex. Really? No, what you're doing is created such a smoke screen, such a ironclad curtain to hide yourself behind. And then it becomes within that iron curtain, you know what I'm saying, in that nucleus, the elite selective few gets to spin and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine for whatever, but that's some, like, for me, like, I can't, like, I've come to this time on this planet and I got to be talking. A lot of people can't be still talking and all kinds of stuff. And why is that? Like, why are we so stagnant? This is what happened when people were tripping out on Kanye, and they was like, and I'm not, that's what I'm saying. I'm not into the people's actions. I'm talking about the narrative. When he said, black folks want to be enslaved. Because believe you me, when you are really like African in your soul, and we ain't talking about, see, and that's a difference. When we say we African in our soul, that's when we say that, that means we and everybody else is on the same playing field. It just means, hey, let's not endorse what this is with all the love that you endorse yourself with. But not above nor below. The difference is when y'all do that, it's above. Gotta be above something. Right? So that's when Kanye said, listen, y'all want to be in this situation, because when you got a certain soul and you see what happened is you think, I guess, that when, you know what, when I get to this money, yo, they think that they gonna stop. Yo, when I get to this money, yo, you know what I'm saying? And I start, yo, let me tell you, they gonna respect me. Da-da-da. And then, you know, you get to that money and you talking certain talk and this and that, certain things happen, certain things, until like, oh, you think you got too powerful. But what happens is that's the frustration. That's what happens when you have the frustration, because your people are not galvanized. It's not organized. You don't have a home. You don't have a foundation of ground. I'm trying to tell you, collectively, we do not. Right? The same thing with Paul Robeson. How being practically a millionaire before the civil rights in the 40s and 50s. Okay, or if not that close to it. 100,000 years, which is something extraordinary at that time. Right? And to shut them up. That actually creates the blueprint for even the sports and the athletes today. That's why the guy was like, in court, he said, I've seen you play football. And at that time, he was getting irritated. His voice is like, I've seen you play football. And I know and you've been to such and such college. You've gotten the opportunities. What are you talking about as a black man? It's like, yeah, once you got this, shut up. Like, if you've been through this and we allow you to do that, then that should be it. There's no more conversation. See, what it is I understand that mentality. And, you know, this is one of the reasons, you know what, I'm going to continue talking a little bit. This is one of the reasons why for me, and yeah, I'm going off the different side of the fucking shelf right now. Right? This is why for me, like, for real, I cannot stand, and I'm going to take up this conversation to expand on it a little bit more. Maybe before the end of the week or next week. But like for real, like ever since, I cannot stand it even more. Like violent lyrics. Like extreme, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand ego, stand up on your toe, certain stuff, minding, being who you is, you know what I'm saying? But listen, yo, y'all can say what you want to say. Running up on your brother, dudes is how just to murder your brother for real. I mean, that is the reality. So that's what's in the music. That's why. So we can't get that. And I know I used to hear people say that before. And I'd be like on the Tupac thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Get us mad, we'll come together and burn this bitch down. But it's not about getting mad. You know what I'm saying? That's the young Tupac. The wiser Tupac would say, listen, it's about strategizing and putting yourself together calm, cool, and collective. That's what it's called. Calm, cool, and collective. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me let Paul Robeson play the last piece of this here. Get ready to dip out of here, all right?
Union. I repeat it with 100-fold emphasis, they will not, close quote.
And gentlemen, they have not. It is clear that no Americans are going to go to war with the Soviet Union.
While you were in Stockholm, did you make a little speech?
I made all kinds of speeches.
Let me read you a quotation.
Let me listen.
Do so, please.
I am a lawyer.
It would be a revelation if you would listen to counsel.
In good company, I usually listen. But you know, people wander around in such fancy places.
You said, Mr. Robeson, and I quote, I belong to the American resistance movement, which fights against American imperialism, just as the resistance movement fought against Hitler.
Just like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman were underground railroaders and fighting for our freedom, you bet your life.
I have to insist that you listen to these questions.
I am listening.
I quote further, why should the Negroes ever fight against the only nation in the world where racial discrimination is prohibited and where the people can live freely? Never. They will never fight against either the Soviet Union or the people's democracies, close quote. Did you make that statement?
I do not remember, but what is perfectly clear today is that 900 million people, other colored people, have told you they will not. 400 million in India and millions everywhere have told you that.
The witness has answered the question. He doesn't need to make a speech.
Did you write an article that was published in the USSR Information Bulletin?
Yes.
Quote, I want to emphasize that only here in the Soviet Union did I feel that I was a real man with a capital M, close quote.
I would say, what is your name?
Errant.
I am quite willing to answer the question. When I was a singer years ago, and this you will have to listen to.
I am listening.
I am a bass singer, so for me, it was Chelyabin, the great Russian bass, not Caruso the tenor. I learned the Russian language to sing their songs. I wish you would listen now.
Mr. Chairman, I ask you to direct the witness to answer the question.
Just be fair with me.
I ask for order.
The great poet of Russia is of African blood.
Let us not go so
It is
far
important to
afield.
explain this.
Did you make that statement?
When I first went to Russia in 1934...
Did you make that
When
statement?
I first went to Russia in
Did you
1934...
make that statement?
In Russia, I felt for the first time like a full human being. No color prejudice like in Mississippi. No color prejudice like in Washington. It was the first time I felt like a human being. Where I did not feel the pressure of color as I feel it in this committee today.
Why do you not stay in Russia?
Because my father was a slave, and my people died to build this country. And I'm going to stay here and have a part of it just like you, and no fascist-minded people will drive me from it. Is that clear?
You are here because you are promoting the communist cause.
I am here because I'm opposing the neo-fascist cause, which I see arising in these committees. Jefferson could be sitting here, and Frederick Douglass could be sitting here. Eugene Debs could be sitting here.
Now, what prejudice are you talking about? You were graduated from Rutgers. You were graduated from the University of Pennsylvania. I remember seeing you play football at Lehigh. There was no prejudice against you.
Just a moment. This is something I challenge very deeply, that the success of a few Negroes can make up for $700 a year for thousands of Negro families in the South. My father was a slave, and I have cousins who are sharecroppers. I do not see success in terms of myself. I have sacrificed hundreds of thousands of dollars for what I believe in.
While you were in Moscow, Mr. Robeson, did you make a speech lauding Stalin?
I can't remember.
Have you recently changed your
What has
mind about
happened
Stalin?
to Stalin, gentlemen, is a question for the Soviet Union, and I won't argue with a representative of the people who, in building America, wasted the lives of my people. You are responsible, you and your forebears, for 60 to 100 million black people dying in the slave ships and on the plantations. Don't you ask me about anybody.
I'm sure you wouldn't want to discuss with us the slave labor camps in the
Nothing
Soviet
could build
Union.
more on slavery than this society, I assure you.
I would invite your attention to the Daily Worker of June 29, 1949, with reference to a get-together with you and Ben Davis, formerly communist councilman in New York. Do you know Ben
One
Davis?
of my dearest friends. He is as patriotic an American as can be, and you, gentlemen, are the non-patriots.
Just a minute.
You are the un-Americans.
The hearing is now adjourned.
I think it should be.
I've endured all of this that I can.
Can I read my statement?
No! The meeting is adjourned.
It should be.
All right. So, in closing, as you see that, you know what I'm saying? I don't care who blocking me. So, you see what Paul Robeson just said in pertains to, you know, when you said, you know, you playing, you went to this school, that you playing in this sports, you just, you know, your all your accolades, right? And he's like, listen, my wealth or whatever I've achieved is not for my individual self only. Good. I'm going to elaborate on what he's saying. Fine. Yes, that's a wonderful thing. But it's about the collective, because what you understood in those times, see the difference compared to now, where you were in certain neighborhoods, couldn't go certain places, like literally, you know, you couldn't look at a Caucasian woman. And if she felt this certain, you know what I'm saying, or much less a Caucasian man in the eye, neither one had to do, and all kinds of stuff. So you really knew what the deal was. That even if you got the real people from y'all, they knew. When you get to it, because even when you get to it, as he found out, they still gonna treat you the same like if you ain't got nothing. And then they're gonna break you down like you ain't got nothing. So see, once again, like that's what I'm talking about, the narrative. Nobody talking about what P. Diddy, Sean Combs' actions are. What I'm talking about, we're not seeing enough intellectual narrative. There needs to be a Black African descendant revolutionary renaissance social media tornado of re-information of the way we approach our conversation. Go ahead, flood them. Get to the money, get to the streams, but up the conversation, up y'all. I mean, I challenge y'all. Up y'all dialect, right? So check this. This is what I'm saying. Paul Robeson, like, it's not just the money I make for me, it's the collective. For example, now I'm talking about the narrative. Sean Combs, P. Diddy. All this in the news, boom, boom, boom. Great. The victims, whatever. Great. Why is there not a perspective? What you're hearing is, oh, who's in hiding? And, you know, who used to be at the parties? There's never been a serious discussion. How many people, especially of African descent, that would have lost jobs that would never get those type of positions and salaries again? How many jobs are affected from Sean Combs, P. Diddy being in that situation? Right? Let me show you something. And I'm going to dip off of here. I keep saying that. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop saying stuff like that. When I'm done, I'm done. Right in my community right here, there's a store that was Black owned and ran. I used to pass, and I still mess with the, you know what I'm saying? I still mess with the Arab dudes and all that because they're right across the street from me, depending on what it is. But for the most part, 99.9% of the time, I'm walking past that store and another one, and I'm going to that one and put my bread up in there. Caribbean cat. I ain't getting into whatever it is, but something happened in out here in the streets, and I guess they want to cut me off now. Anyway, maybe the vocals is still being recorded, so I'm gonna continue anyway. So his life was taken, and with his life being taken, believe you me, everybody that used to be in the store, even people from the community that might have been employed in certain stuff that was cool that he used to see hanging around, this is a good person. Now got to look for another employment and stuff. The economics, the trickle down effects. So I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm gonna try to end this live. The screen is not responding, so I'm definitely gonna have to restart and bring it back again. And tomorrow. All right, well, y'all know the thing go. Miss Sophia, I think you're still on there. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever going on here, that's my cue. I'm gonna finish up, and that's it. You understand? See y'all tomorrow. Blessed love, blessed sunrise.
This is the Riley Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncensored, 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms.
Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. I'm a baby in a stroller. In due time, I get to know ya. As we talking, the baby grow up. Out the diaper, out the pull up. I had the last so don't not feel borrow. Here today, don't know tomorrow. Subscribe, like and follow. We deep, we ain't shallow. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. One light up, one pour up, one reason, one sight up, one unite, no fight up. One round you shot, you skite up. Feel lining, no time up. Miss morning, one night up. Just replay and vibes up. Start cheer like cake and slice up. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember. Is Reasoning Uncensored. No smoke screen, no filter. Open mind, no enter. It's something you remember.
This is the Riley Rock. Is the one and only Shaka Double. Don't forget to tune into Reasoning Uncensored, 8 to 10 a.m. Monday to Friday on all social media platforms. I don't know. Let me go. I miss you. Blessed love, blessed sunrise, and even blessed moonlight too. Give thanks to life.